What's up, everybody? We're back, Jessica and I.
Hi.
We're going to talk about cancer on what's new with you.
Okay.
So you had treatment.
I had wound care first yesterday, and they are concerned about the tunnel in my wound. And they're like, you need to talk to your oncologist because I think we need to get the hernia surgery done. And so I was kind of worried about my numbers going to Highlands yesterday. And I thought they were going to be low, but they were actually pretty good. So
let's talk about the hernia surgery. They attempted to do this a while back, and you talked to a couple surgeons, and they basically refused to do it because you're too high risk. The surgery's high risk. The cancer is still there. Well, I don't think back then, I think you were in remission back then. Maybe?
I might have had a little bit because I remember them saying they want me to be cancer free.
But they were also worried about putting that mesh in you because of the cancer clings
attaching to it.
Yeah, that's going to create issues. So now they want her to talk to the same surgeon that she talked to before. He was kind of a dick.
He kind of made it seem like, well, why do you want this surgery, Jessica? Well, my doctor sent me here.
Yeah.
I don't just go for surgeries for fun.
Yeah, he wasn't a easy person to deal with, but both of them basically refused to do it, so they wouldn't touch it, and now it's getting worse and causing more issues and causing more pain. Now everybody's just oh, well, we need to take care of this. Well, how? You know, if that surgeon wasn't going to do it back then, I don't see him doing it now, especially with all the cancer that has spread within you.
Well, they're just worried about the tunnel because they're afraid it's not going to heal unless it's especially with the hernia, they don't want to pack it or anything like that because my bowel's right there.
But if they're worried about the tunnel being healing, I mean, they're going to have to cut you open. Aren't they worried about that healing?
True. But that's why they would take me off of treatment. Which my oncologist said that's a sticky situation because I have to have my treatment.
Especially right now. So that's kind of what we're facing. That's a tough decision to come up with, and I'm not comfortable with it. I get angry because it should have been done a long time ago before the hernia got to where it was.
Yeah.
You know, when it first started happening, when you were in remission, is when they should have jumped in and went ahead and took care of it.
And that's what my oncologist tried to do, but
the surgeons,
if there's no surgeon that will do it, what are you supposed to do?
So we're faced with that obstacle right now on what's going to happen, what's going to do. You can't afford not to have treatments. Excuse us, we're coughing because all the pollen and dust and stuff that's consumed our air around here. So you had part treatment yesterday. You had the topotecan, but they held the Avastin from you because of numbers and healing purposes.
Well, because of healing purposes. Plus, she thinks that the surgeon may magically say, okay. Because if you have surgery, you have to be off treatment so many weeks before surgery and then so many weeks after.
And that's the sketch part.
That's the sketchy part.
Is missing all that. And then surgery itself makes me really nervous.
But I did, before I got my treatment, They were like, oh, your numbers are great. Good deal. Sit down in the infusion chair. And my port's not working right. Like, they can put stuff in it, but they couldn't draw any blood out. And they need it to work both ways. So if blood's not coming out, is it in the wrong spot? Is there a blood clot in there? Why? So we tried all these tricks. They put me in the magic chair. That didn't work. I was like coughing. They were trying to make me laugh. Nothing would work. So they're like, okay, we have to send you down for an x-ray to make sure your port's okay. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So we go do an x-ray and come back up, and they said the port looks fine. So they have to put in this magic medicine to clear everything out, like if there's a clog or something. So they did that, and then we had to wait 30 minutes. And then she comes back, and everything works great. So they were able to draw blood. So I got my infusion. It was just a way longer day than it should have been.
It was. You were there almost on the closer end of 6 hours.
Mm-hmm. I was like, I just want a nap.
So, yeah, and of course when she gets her pre-meds, she starts getting loopy, and then I get the fun text messages. She says, I love you, Sleepy. So, it's just been kind of rough, stressful, We've had to have cancer talks that we really don't want to have, but have to have, trying to get things lined up and dealing with life insurance and, stuff like that.
Grown-up stuff?
Grown-up stuff. No, it's bullshit stuff is what it is. So basically, it's a waiting game to find out what, and then we got some decisions coming up in the near future with it, and hard decisions, because it's basically, is it treatment or is it hernia surgery? Mm-hmm. You need both done, but you got to pick and choose,
Yeah.
And that's not going to be an easy choice.
Well, and they kind of didn't want to touch the hernia because so far, like, everything's been working fine, like as far as like my bowels and all that.
They're concerned about the bowel obstruction.
And so it's kind of like, why fix something that isn't wrong, I guess.
Well, bowel obstruction is a fairly common thing when it comes to ovarian cancer and the surgeries and stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's also can be a life-threatening thing. And so that's a cause of concern, is if they push all of her guts back in, is it going to create a bowel obstruction? Mm-hmm. And bowel obstruction happens, that's not a good scenario.
I think that's kind of why my oncologist is like, it's working great, but...
There's so many factors to this, and there's so many, what's the word I'm looking for? For lack of a better term, setbacks. Cancer treatment is never smooth. In the beginning, it seemed like it was going smoother. Mm-hmm. But as time goes, it's just like, fuck, what else? Then it becomes overwhelming at times, and you take that in just everyday life, we work every day, she still works every day, so you have work to deal with, and as you're, shit on your mind, and it gets overwhelming sometimes. I'm overwhelmed right now.
It does, but I feel like I've been a lot lucky luckier than other people in my situation. It seems like some people, are in the hospital for days and weeks, and I've been in the hospital once, was it? It was a couple days.
Yeah, you're luckier than some are luckier than you. Everybody's different, and we also don't know what they're going through or what complications that they have that's causing this. I mean, it may be more than one health issue. It could. I mean, there's so many things that play a role. We've heard of people that has big diagnosis, stage 4 ovarian cancer, that's died months later. And we've heard of people living 12 years after the diagnosis.
Yeah.
You just don't know which way it's gonna go. But every day's a blessing.
A new day, yeah.
It's, to me, it's hard to think that it's been 3 years already.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these 3 years have just flown by, but I'm very, very thankful for these 3 years, and I want another 30 years. So, I say 30 because I don't want to live past 70. Shit gets weird. So, it's hard to talk about.
I know. It's all good, though.
It's all
we'll
good.
We'll get a plan.
Like every obstacle that we've ever come across, even since we've been together, we've hurdled over it and figured shit out and just keep on moving forward.
Mm-hmm. You know, and if the surgeon says no, then there's a reason he says no. And if he's not comfortable doing a surgery, then I'm not comfortable getting a surgery from him.
That's exactly right.
I
wouldn't press it and keep trying. And
so, let's just pray that the tunnel heals and the wound heals, and I'll just live with a hernia. I'm fine with it.
The hernia is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have it, so I can't say. But you don't.
My stomach pokes out, but.
But other than the wound, it's not a big deal to you.
No.
It's just the wound that causes pain.
And I have to wear my belly binder, and she wants me to sleep in it too. So I slept in it for the first time last night. It wasn't terrible.
Well, the new one that we got, she was a hell of a lot better. I can imagine sleeping in that other fucking contraption that you had. Oh my goodness, that would suck.
So.
But no, we're just hitting it on, and it does get stressful, but we know stress well. We got a type 1 diabetic kid. We have another kid that has an autoimmune disease that attacks her liver. We know stress very well.
I'm like, bring it.
So, but everything's gonna work out the way
it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just the way it's gonna be.
So if he says no, we're not gonna do it, I'm not gonna get upset. Okay.
So the goal now, which is the ultimate goal always, is hopefully this round of chemo works and we can get you back into remission.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel once you get into remission, all this is going to heal.
True.
And we get you into, we won't need the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
The hernia will, I'm sure it's going to open a wound. It'll always come and go.
Yeah.
And this isn't the first time this has happened either.
No.
It's happened a couple times in the past, but she wasn't on such a strong chemo or the Avastin, and it is healed up. So we've been down this route before. It's just the tunneling is what's causing concern this time around. Either way, the open wound is still a bitch to deal with.
Yeah.
But
it's because my skin is so thin there.
We think it's thin until that tunnel goes in and that fucker goes forever.
Yeah.
But
that's true.
And the wound itself is healing. It's getting smaller. It's not as deep It get more shallow, I guess. So I mean, it's just.
They're just worried about the tunnel not healing.
Right. So, but I feel if the wound itself heals, the tunnel will heal too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm no doctor. I could be just blowing smoke. I don't know.
I mean, because if the
way
wound heals, then you just got a cool tunnel, man.
Right? Just an extra space. Just an extra space, I guess. An extra room in the belly.
Yeah.
So, I would like to say, if anybody watching this that is fighting cancer, you know, our hearts go out to you guys. And, you know, we've met people through this journey that is this fighting cancer. And I know some of you guys do watch this, and we are thinking about you. And you are in our prayers, you know, daily.
Yeah.
We know the struggle. We know it's fucking hard, but just please keep your head up. Think positive. You know, we all know what this cancer can cause, or what it's gonna do. But just don't give up. Don't fucking give up. I'm about to get emotional myself. Not gonna cry on camera. But it is hard, and you guys and Jessica are doing great with it. You know, I'm living on this side of the cancer, and it's fucking hard enough, so I know on that side it gets tough. But not everybody's built like you. Not everybody's a fucking machine.
I just can't wait to go back to the days where I miss work because I just wanted the day off.
That's right.
Not because I gotta go to doctor's appointments.
I know. We so badly need a day where we're both feeling good.
I just want to play hooky and do what I want.
Play hooky from work and just go have fun.
Yes.
God, that does. I miss those.
Yeah.
My work's watching. I don't do that. I don't play hooky. I saw this thing on Facebook today, or maybe it's Instagram or one of them, saying that awkward moment when you call in work sick and you pull up next to your boss at a stoplight with a boat attached. Whoops. So, all right, guys. Well, again, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support that we're getting from people. Feel free to leave. I just lost my train of thought. Boy, that shit just flew out quick. Feel free to leave comments. We like to hear from you guys. Again, any kind of questions whatsoever you have, feel free to ask and we'll answer them.
Prayers. Thinking about you. Thoughts.
Prayers mean the world to us.
Good energy, good juju.
All that stuff.
All the good stuff.
Be positive. Like we said almost every video, bullshit's going to happen in your life. There's going to be setbacks. There's going to be things that you think are going to break your whole spirit. Just remain positive. It all will pass and you'll come out better for it. So, have a great week. We'll see you next week. Our videos will be a little bit different. We're going to start posting our travel videos.
Be ready.
Because vacation, cancer doesn't exist. No, we leave all that shit when we go on vacation. We leave all that shit at home, and we go out and have fun. And so, you guys will start seeing next week. You'll start seeing our from our vacation.
Giving reality a break.
Yes. And after we get back from vacation, we're gonna play hooky one of these days.
Yes. With no doctor appointment.
With no doctor's appointment. We're just going to go crazy. All right. Much love to you guys. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Peace out.